Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lesson 30, the We Do portion of the video or the lesson, where we're going to break it down in our understanding using some models as well as some place value charts. So I am proud of you for reaching out to watch this video. I hope this gains a little bit better understanding and a little bit slower pace compared to the teach piece. So let's get started. Our goal here is to divide decimal dividends by decimal dividers. And we looked at a couple problems in the teach piece. Let's focus on this one here. And we did 2 1/10 divided by 7/10. And we got 3, which seems kind of strange. How did we get such a large number here? Well, larger than both the dividend and the divisor. Well, I'm going to show you how we did that. Again, we could make a fraction, right? Make it equivalent to each, and then make it into a basic fact that we solve. But what does that look like in a model? So to help us, I'm going to actually go ahead and draw 2 holes. I'm going to make them a little bit larger because we're going to shade them in. And then I'm going to make a third hole here. And I'm going to label these. Here's one hole. And I didn't need to label all of them, but maybe I'll just be proactive and do so. And we're breaking them up into tenths, and the reason why I'm breaking them up into tenths, this is in tenths and this one is in tenths. So I'm going to then decompose it into tenths, or what we might say in 9 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to label this as just 1/10. Now, I'm really looking for one hole, this entire one, this entire hole, and I really only need one more tenth. Because again, we started with 2 1/10. So 2 holes and 1/10. And then the dividing says, instead of this time thinking of it as decomposing it into 7/10, I'm going to put 7/10 in each group. So I'm going to highlight, or you would do with the side of your pencil, and I'm going to shade in 7 pieces. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's one group. I'm going to color it yellow. Let's do another one in groups of 7/10. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. Let's do another one in sevenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to need this one. Here's our 7th. Notice the different groups. I have 3 different groups in this case. I have the yellow group, I have the green group right here, and then I have this last one, the blue group. I have 3 groups. So 2 1/10 divided by 7/10 is going to give us 3 groups. And we did that in a model form. Certainly, as you solve these for your exit ticket, you can turn these into models. I showed it here, and to make equivalent fractions, that would certainly work too. But what I wanted to do for those models to show you why. Why did we get those 3? So let's do one more in model form here. We did this one in the teach piece, 3 5/10 divided by 5/10, and we ultimately came up with 7. We're going to get 7 parts. Again, we made this equation into a fraction, got rid of the decimals by multiplying it by 10, giving us an equivalent fraction, and that fraction is really the same, knowing that this is a dividing line, turns into 35 divided by 5, or 7. Gives us a basic fact. But let's look at that into model form. Again, I'm going to start with this here, 3 5/10. So I'm going to draw a model of 3 holes. There's 3 holes. But I actually have more than 3 holes. I need 5 more tenths. I'm going to make a fourth one. I'm going to label these. Again, really wouldn't matter which one you label. And I'm going to cut it up into tenths. Why? Because we're in the tenths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm going to label these. It doesn't matter which one you label. Any one. Let's pick this one and label this. They're each 1/10. And now we're going to put those in groups of 5/10. So I'm going to find 5/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a yellow group. Let's do a blue group here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Green group. Blue group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a purple group. Well, here's another group of 5/10. I think that's all the colors I have. So we're going to go back to our yellow. There's another group. Here's a group of 5. And now remember, for this last one, we only need 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only need these. So here's our 5/10. I guess I did that a little prematurely there. We still had that green 5/10 right here. And then one more. We need 5/10. Well, we labeled it. That's nice. 5/10. How many groups do we have? Right, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 groups, and that was our answer. 7. Now, the models, I truly believe, help in our understanding a ton. So again, please go ahead and draw those models to help you if you need to. All right. So with that said, let's get into our problem set, page 136. And I think the video got cut off. We had a little technical difficulty, and we didn't quite finish letter D here. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to solve letter D in a model form. And we'll do the rest in our fraction form here. But just to understand how that works, even this time in hundredths. Right, so I'm going to draw our 3 holes. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. And then I actually need 1 more because there's going to be 5 additional tenths. I'm going to label them, just the 1. And now I'm going to decompose those into our tenths. So again, there's our 9 lines. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to do that the same for each of those. And you want to try to make them as neat and organized as possible. I'm just trying to follow all the lines down. And that way I don't have to count them all, but really we should just double check on our last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces. Label this 1/10. Right? Now, what's interesting about this one, right? But we really want to put them in groups of 5/10. So we would have to decompose this into 10 parts, and 10 parts, and 10 parts. That's a lot of parts to decompose. So now I have a total of 100 1/100ths, which really gives us a whole, looking at our fraction. And if I wanted to shade these, I'm really going to shade half of them, 5 of them, to make one group. And then I would shade another one for a second group. So really, each one of these has 2 groups to it. So again, this one would be a group. Again, I'm using different colors to show the different groups. And let's break this one up into black. Okay. And we even have a yellow we can break this one up into. Okay. And as we keep working our way, we get to a lot of different groups. It takes a little bit, but we could certainly get this to the number of groups that we want. So right now I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups. We would know that then there's going to be 2 more groups here. Well, let's even put it here. 2 more shaded groups and 2 different shaded groups and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. So in reality, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. We have 20 parts in this one. So guess what this means? There's 20 parts in this one. There's 20 parts in this one. Okay? And we only needed 5 tenths in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll label that. 5 tenths. So we have 2 groups in this one. 2, 2, 2, and 2, just as we did up here. Okay? We didn't need those because that's going to give us 3 wholes and 5 tenths. 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 10 more pieces. Right? How many do we have altogether? We have 20, 40, 60, 70 total pieces, which equals 70. Very similar, but there's going to be 10 times as many in this particular problem compared to this one, because this one here is 10 times as big. Right? Think of this as 7 tenths, and these are 70 hundredths. So a different amount. So that is models. But notice how that models take a long time to do. So what we tend to do is try to turn that into a little bit shorter way of work. So let's try this. And at any point you can stop the video, solve a couple of these, and try them out and see how you feel by them. So let's solve these now in our shortcut in a way. Right. We're going to take this and put it as this into a dividing line, which is also fraction, and it's at 4 and 2 tenths. And we're going to put 7 tenths here. So these mean the same thing. And I don't like that here, so I want to get rid of this. I'm going to multiply to get these bigger. And I'm going to multiply it by 10, because I know 10 tenths is going to give me 1 whole. So I'm going to really have then 7 wholes. Again, you can certainly put it on a place value chart. And here's our decimal point. We have 7. I wanted to get into the wholes, so I need to multiply it by 10. And if I do it to the denominator, I have to do it to the numerator. And if we put 44 and 2 tenths, we need to multiply it by 10, so we're moving it over 1 place value. 4, 2, decimal point doesn't change, so we have 42. And what's really nice, this becomes a basic fact. We have 42 divided by 7. Knowing your basic facts gives us 6. These are equivalent, so our answer to 4 and 2 tenths divided by 7 tenths is going to give you 6. And let's do one more very quickly. We have 42 hundredths divided by 7 hundredths. And I want to multiply. I need to move it over 2 places. Right? If it was the 7s here, I need to move it 1, 2 places. That would be 10 to the power of 2 or 100. So we're multiplying it by 100. And if we do that, we have to multiply the top by 100. That's going to give us 42 divided by 7. Oh, and look at that. 42 divided by 7. That's another basic fact. This one's also going to give us 6. They're equivalent. I hope that helps in our understanding a little bit of why putting them in our fractions work. If not, reach out to me through a private comment, ladies and gentlemen.